Talk with Bob Mars.
Hello, Sterile Processing Universe, and welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Bob Mars from Beyond Clean. I'm so excited to be here with you today. We've taken a small break. Things have just been crazy here at Beyond Clean. Crazy in a good way. We're so busy. But I wanted to jump back into the video series and kind of carry on where I left off with inspection of surgical instruments. And last episode, if you remember correctly, we talked about proper inspection, the tools to properly inspect, the knowledge to properly inspect, and finally having the time to properly inspect these surgical instruments. It's so vitally important to our job. So today, let's carry on our discussion with inspecting surgical instruments, and I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about taping and dipping. You may or may not know this, but this is a super hot topic right now with the Joint Commission, with the DNV. They're coming into facilities and they're really getting after folks that have tape and dipping on instruments because if we're talking real, 100% of the hospitals that I have been in that use tape or dip do not ever maintain it the way that it should be maintained. And the surveyors are discovering this and they're starting to hit facilities very hard. So make sure that you're paying attention to this. As a matter of fact, a lot of facilities are spending quite a bit of money using repair companies to remove all their tape and dip right now. So be sure you're paying attention to that and taking care of it and removing it as necessary. What about lubrication? If you remember, in previous episodes, I talked about not using a lubricant in your final stage in your washer disinfector. You're just wasting money. You're lubricating things that don't need to be lubricated. You're often lubricating implants that should not be. And frankly, when you lubricate, you want to do it as spot lubrication at the assembly table, because that's when you're feeling the function of the instrument when you're moving it open and closed, and you can tell if the box locks are tight or if the instrument's not working properly. So you want to make sure you're doing it there. We want to make sure, and I hope you're paying very close attention to this, make sure that you have correct and up-to-date count sheets. Did you hear me? Correct and up-to-date count sheets. If your count sheets that are going in your trays or on the outside of your trays that you're using to build your trays, if they are not correct with the correct data, your sets are not being put together properly. And a part of that is having the correct item number from the instrument on your count sheet. This is the only way to ensure that the proper instrument is getting placed in your sets. So work with your repair manufacturers. Make sure when they refurbish your instrumentation that they're not removing the mark that the original equipment manufacturer placed on that instrument to help identify it. You want to make sure that you have the proper name of the instrument on that count sheet, not a made-up name, not some crazy name, but the actual name of the instrument, and that it is in a certain order each and every time that can be followed by the technicians that are assembling the tray. Again, if they don't have this information, they're not going to assemble the tray correctly. After you've inspected and you've placed the instruments in the set, we want to make sure that we've got our internal and external indicators properly placed on and or in your instrument set. So you want to have your integrators in a place inside the tray that is, number one, easily identifiable by the OR staff when they open that tray, so they can look in and see that that container, that wrapped item, that peel packed item has in fact been subject to the sterilization modality that they were supposed to be, that the indicator and the integrators have changed colors, meaning they have been through the sterilization process. So very important. We want to make sure that your tape, your locks, your seals are all correct and done properly to make sure that the device maintains sterility until the time of use. What about quality inspection? When you complete a tray, are you having another person in your department look at it to verify that you have in fact done everything that you need to do the way that you need to do it, and the set is in fact put up or assembled correctly? This is a very important step and you don't want to skip it. What about after the set has been completely finished? Do you have someone check it to make sure that there are filters in, that you have all of your locks in place, that you have your indicators inside and out prepared and done properly? It's so important to make sure that you're providing a quality product to your customer. I'm going to stop there for now, but just know in our next episode, we're going to talk about the sterilization process and things that we need to look for. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you have an amazing weekend. And I hope that every day you go to work thinking, I'm fighting dirty. And you are fighting dirty. You're doing an amazing job. So hang in there, and I'll look forward to our next episode. Thank you so much. This has been Bob Mars with Real Talk.
Is your central service or sterile processing department prepared for a regulatory survey? If you can't answer with a resounding yes, you should contact Beyond Clean. Our experts will perform a survey in your facility to help you determine your survey readiness. We can evaluate acute care, ambulatory, and dental facilities. Our team will guide you through the survey process to ensure that you are beyond ready for your next survey. And we can stay with you after the consultation, offering virtual consulting and mentorship programs to maintain the progress you have made and to continue making process improvements. Contact us today to schedule a free 30-minute initial consultation.